Hey everyone, welcome to today's yin yang class. This is going to be a nice slow release. So we're going to start off with a soft slow flow and then move into some more floor-based relaxing poses. I'm going to be using a couple of blocks and a bolster for my practice today. When you're ready, bring yourself to that seated position, and we're going to start by bringing the soles of our feet to touch. So we're in this nice wide diamond shape. Grab hold of your blocks and just slide them underneath your knees for a bit of support. Rest your hands wherever's comfortable for you, finding that length in your spine and closing down your eyes. Taking a full breath in. And a full exhale out. Really starting to soften through your face, relaxing your cheeks and your jaw, letting your shoulders soften, and just taking a moment here to start to check in with your breathing. So noticing how your breath is feeling in your body today. Is it easy to breathe? Is your breath feeling quite short and shallow? Or is it feeling long and soft? Noticing any movements in your body from your breath. The movements in your belly, in your chest, and maybe even some subtle movements in your shoulders. Seeing if you can find a bit more length to your inhales and exhales just through your nose. On your next exhale, lower chin down towards chest. Allow head to hang heavy here for a moment, relaxing your brain, relaxing your jaw, releasing any of that tension or tightness. And then roll your neck to left shoulder, lower chin to chest, and roll to right shoulder. Just doing a couple more rounds like this at your own pace. Working your neck shoulder to shoulder. Last one. Chin comes to chest. Bring your head back up through center. Take an inhale as you lengthen your spine, and exhale, start to walk your fingertips forwards, softening towards your feet. Don't worry about how far you go here. You might be getting enough of that stretch staying upright. You might find that you have to start to fold yourself forwards. Should be a nice deep release into your hips here. Taking 3 more breaths. Inhale, walk yourself back up to seated, sliding your props back to the side, and make your way to an all fours tabletop position. Hands underneath shoulders, knees underneath the hips. Spread those fingers nice and wide and start your rocking movements back and forth and round in circles. So just start to warm through your wrists, Remembering those options that I always give you. So if you want to turn the fingertips to the edges of the mat, take it side to side, you can. Or maybe the fingertips come all the way around towards you and you can take it back and forth. Feels nice to press into the fingers as well, lifting those palms up off the mat, running along those big knuckles. I quite like doing that. And feel free to incorporate a little bit more movement with the rest of your body as well at the same time. Turn those hands back around to the top of the mat. Step your right foot out to right hand side, land it on its sole. As you inhale, drop your belly, lift your heart. Exhale, chin to chest, press through hands. You're coming into those cat-cow movements, but you've got that leg stretched out to the side. So not only are you working through the spine, but you're getting a nice stretch into your inner thigh as well. Just gives you something a little bit different to those normal cat-cow movements. Making this your last one. Bring your spine back to neutral. Back toes are tucked. Start some rocking movements back and forth. So sending those hips back, then coming back up to center. Again, just going to the best of your ability here, so don't worry if you're not going all the way back. You might be getting enough of a stretch, just going a little bit back at a time. Keep on breathing with your movements here. Try not to hold on to that breath. Last one. And then bring yourself back to center. Inhale, stretch left arm to ceiling. Exhale, lower hand down. Twice more. Inhale up. Exhale down. This time inhale, stretch up. And as you exhale, thread the needle underneath the right armpit. Shoulder comes to the mat. Keep right hand on the mat for support to begin with. If this is too deep with that right leg stretched out still, just slide it back underneath you. If you want to take it a bit deeper, right fingertips can go forwards, maybe taking a half bind or stretching that right arm behind you can feel really nice too. 3 deep breaths. Well done. Bring that right hand back down to the mat. We're going to inhale, sweep left arm back to the ceiling, and then left hand comes down. Slide back to all fours, and we'll swap sides. So we're going to step that left foot out to the left hand side. Just make some room. And then you can begin with those cat-cow movements again. Making this your last one, bring yourself back to center, tuck back toes, and start those rocking movements back and forth. Should feel like quite a nice stretch into those back toes as well. Make this your last one. Come back to center. Inhale, right arm stretches up. Exhale, right hand down. 2 more. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale up. This time thread the arm underneath left armpit, shoulder to mat. Threading that needle. Taking any of those options on this side that you might have taken on the last side, reaching the fingertips forwards, half bind, stretching left arm behind. Maybe even swooping that left leg back under if that feels better for you. Keep pressing down through the pinky side edge of that left foot. Taking 2 more breaths. Left hand comes down. Inhale, sweep right arm to ceiling. Exhale, right hand comes down. Slide yourself back to all fours. Tabletop position. Come to child's pose. Hips goes to heels. Rest the forehead to the mat. Now you can add in your bolster here if you want to as well. Just to rest your arms onto your lower arm so that you can bring the forehead towards the mat or a block. And this will give you a bit more of an opening into your chest and the shoulders. Taking 3 full breaths here, allowing yourself to soften with each of the exhales. And as you inhale, lift your head, bring yourself back up to a tabletop position, nice and slowly, nice and gently, all fours. Tucking your toes under, sending your hips up and back, coming to a downward facing dog. Pedaling through those legs here for a moment, wiggling your hips, just doing some movements that feel good for you to get you into that first downward facing dog. Good, taking 1 more breath here. And then lower yourself back down to all fours, tabletop position. Step your right foot back behind you, land it on its ball. Keep your hips nice and square, squeeze the inner thighs, making sure that midline's nice and strong. Option to stay here or to pick right foot up into the air, pressing that right heel away from you, pressing through your hands, and then maybe reach those left fingertips forwards. Holding there, take a nice full breath. Strong through the midline, drawing navel to spine. Good. Lower the right knee down. Sweep your left arm all the way back by your side. Your palm is facing the ceiling. And then flip your palm over to face down. So you can flip the palm up and then flip it down. Keep on going through these movements. You're just flossing through your shoulder here. So it's going to help to decompress through your neck and to loosen your shoulders. Good. Bring left hand back down to the mat and we'll swap sides. So step left foot back behind you, land it on its ball. Find those square hips to begin with. So we're not open to the side, we're squaring them to the mat. Squeeze the inner thighs and the glutes as you lift that left leg into the air using the hamstring, and then maybe right arm forwards as well. Gazing down, staying long in your neck and your spine. 2 more breaths. Left knee comes down, sweep right arm back by the side, palm facing up, and then flip it down to face down. Keep on flossing through these movements. Perfect. Lower that right hand back down to the mat. Come back to your downward facing dog. Send the hips up and back. Take a big breath in your downward facing dog, stretching those hips up and back. Finding lots of length through your spine. And inhale, step or walk feet to the top. Dangle over your legs in your Uttanasana. Feet nice and wide, hips width for that stability. Hands to elbows or to the ground, relaxing your head, your neck. You might want to sway side to side if it feels good, or you can stay still. Relax the arms down towards the ground. As you inhale, bend your knees, sweep your arms tall to the ceiling, rising up. And exhale, sweep arms down and round behind your back. Interlace those hands together. Inhale, reach your knuckles down as you puff up through your chest. Take that gaze over your left shoulder. And then over your right shoulder. Once more each side, over the left shoulder. And over the right shoulder. Come back to center. Release the interlace as you inhale, bend the knees, sweep the arms tall to the ceiling. Exhale, soften and fold. We're going to do a nice slow vinyasa. Inhale to a halfway lift. Reach forwards with your crown. Exhale, bend knees, plant hands, step back, high plank and lower knees to mat. Lower all the way down. Inhale, squeeze inner thighs, lift chest, cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take your time in getting there. Just moving slowly through these movements. Big breath. Shuffle feet together. Inhale, right leg sweeps high. Exhale, bend right knee, left foot flop behind. Open the hip up, but keep those shoulders square. Inhale, step right foot between hands, left knee lowers down. Make sure your hips width in distance. Push hands to thigh and lift torso up. So making sure we've got that nice strong foundation here. You're going to interlace your hands behind your head. As you inhale, pick up through your chest towards the ceiling. And as you exhale, you're going to close it in, elbows to meet. Keep on going through these movements. They're very similar to those cat-cow movements that you're probably familiar with. Good, make this your last one. Bring yourself back to center, keeping that interlace. Take an inhale here. And as you exhale, twist to the right. Keep rooting down through that front heel. Really challenging going through these moves. Inhale back to center. Squeeze those inner thighs. Keep a strong midline. Exhale to the left. Good. Inhale to center. Exhale, bend to the right. Inhale to center. Exhale, bend to the left. Inhale to center. Exhale, hands to the mat, frame your top foot. Send your hips back, lengthen right leg long, fingertips under shoulders or to blocks, half split. Reaching forwards with your crown, inhale, firm those inner thighs to take it deeper if you want to. Exhale, softening through center. Remembering if you want that bit more space, hands can come to the blocks. Two more breaths. Inhale, lift up through the chest, bend into your front knee, left hand stays underneath the shoulder. Inhale, right arm to the ceiling. Maybe you're staying here, or maybe you're reaching that right hand back behind you, kicking the foot towards the hand. Option to stay here if you're going for that different sensation, then think about squaring your hips off towards your mat a bit more to give you a stretch into the center of that left quad. Good. Exhale, slowly release. Hands come down to your mat, framing your foot. Step it back to your downward facing dog. Big breath. Shuffle feet together. Inhale, sweep left leg high. Exhale, bend left knee. Let the foot flop behind. Shoulders nice and square. Inhale, step left foot between hands. Right knee comes down. Make sure we're set up as we push hands to thigh and lift the torso up. Interlace the hands behind the head. Inhale, lifting through the chest. And exhale, closing it in. Just doing a couple more rounds like this. Keep driving down through that front heel. Don't worry if you fall. If you start to lose your balance, just gently bring yourself back. Stay nice and strong through your midline. Last one. And then bring yourself to center. Take an inhale. Exhale, twist to the left. Inhale to center. Exhale, twist to the right. Inhale to center. Exhale, bend to the left. Inhale to center. Exhale, bend to the right. Inhale to center. Exhale, hands to mat. Send hips back, taking that half split. Lengthening your left leg long. Hands under shoulders or to blocks. Reach forwards with your crown as you inhale. And as you exhale, softening and folding to take it deeper. 2 more breaths. Inhale, lift through the chest, bend into front left knee, right hand underneath shoulder. Inhale, left arm to ceiling. Maybe you're staying here or stretching the hand back behind you, kicking the foot towards it. Again, maybe you're staying there, or maybe you're playing around with squaring those hips off to center, getting that stretch into your right quad, into the center. Good. 2 more breaths. Exhale, slowly release. Hands come back down to the mat and step yourself back to your downward facing dog. Sending those hips nice and high, taking a full breath here. And on your next inhale, step or walk feet to top, nice and wide, heels face in, toes face out, lower down to your yogi squat, your malasana, hands to prayer at the heart center or hands resting to the ground. Resting those elbows towards the insides of the knees, maybe slightly drawing those knees out and lifting yourself up a little. Find that length in your spine. Inhale. Exhale, fingertips come down to the mat as you lift the hips towards the ceiling. Take a little fold over your legs. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step it back, downward facing dog. Shuffle your feet together. Inhale, sweep right leg high. Exhale, right knee comes to right wrist as you lower the shin down, lower the back knee down and come into your pigeon. So using any props that you might want to here, you could slide that bolster underneath your hips to rest on, or you could grab your block or book and slide it underneath that right hip if you need a bit more support. Once you're there, think about drawing that right hip back, left hip forwards. We're nice and square. And then as you exhale, if you want to, you can fold yourself forwards. Breathing here for a moment, seeing if you can start to soften through your face. Maybe closing down your eyes will help. Parting your teeth slightly, relaxing your jaw. Taking 3 more full breaths. Inhale, bring yourself back up to your hands. Walk yourself in. You're going to swing yourself round towards your right hip so you can swing that left leg all the way round, removing any props out you need to first. Have your left leg nice and wide out to the side. Your right heel comes to center. Grab hold of your blocks here. You're going to slide one underneath that right knee just for a bit of support, and the other to the inside of your left leg, or you could use a bolster there if you want to. Bring that left forearm down to your block or prop, right hand to the hip, taking your gaze down to your left shin. Now, instead of closing your chest off here, think about opening your chest towards the side and maybe even running your right fingertips along your ribs, the side of your body here, just to help you find a bit more length. If you want to take it a bit deeper for the last breath or two, you can stretch that right arm overhead. And inhale, make your way back up to seated. Keep that right block underneath your knee. Grab your bolster and place it down in front of you. Take an inhale, lengthen through your spine, and as you exhale, you can soften yourself forwards onto your bolster. If that's a bit deep, then just prop it upright and you could relax your forehead onto it instead. Keep flexing your left toes towards the ceiling. Taking a nice deep inhale in. And as you exhale, just allow yourself to soften, to release. Three more breaths. As you inhale, bring yourself slowly back up to seated. Placing any props to the side and bring the soles of the feet to the mat or to the ground. And just take a couple of windscreen wiper movements, letting the knees drop to either side. And then we're going to move on to the other side. So when you're ready, come to a tabletop position and I'll meet you back in downward facing dog. Once you're there, taking a big breath. Inhale, sweep the left leg high. Exhale, left knee, left wrist. Lower the shin down to come into your pigeon, using any of those props on this side, like you might have done on the other side, sliding the block or bolster underneath you. And then as you exhale, you can soften yourself forwards if that feels good. Now on this side, you can think about drawing left hip back, right hip forwards, squaring those hips off a little bit more. Taking 3 more breaths. Just allowing yourself to soften with each of those exhales. And as you inhale, slowly bring yourself back up to those fingertips. Remove any props from underneath. Slide yourself to your left hip so you can swing right leg out. Right leg's nice and wide. Left heel comes to center. Grab hold of your props again, sliding one under the left knee and one to the inside of the right leg. Bring right forearm down to your prop, left hand to hip, and take that gaze down towards your right shin. So this just allows us to relax through our neck a bit more. Keeping your chest open to the side, and maybe you're going to run those fingertips along the side of your body again, just to help you find a little bit more length. Big breath in. Soothing breath out. If you want to stretch left arm overhead here, then you can, just to take it a bit deeper for the last couple of breaths. That's entirely up to you. And inhale, make your way back up to seated. Keep that left block underneath the left knee. Bring your bolster to center. As you inhale, lengthening your spine, and as you exhale, softening yourself through center onto your props. Breathing here for a moment. Nice deep inhales in and soothing exhales out. Seeing if you can send that breath all the way down a bit deeper towards your inner thighs. Flexing those right toes to the ceiling. Well done. As you inhale, bring yourself slowly, gently, carefully back up to seated, sliding your props to the side. Both soles of the feet are going to come to the mat, and you're going to slide your bolster behind you. Have it lengthways, and then using your hands to help you, just slowly start to recline yourself back onto your bolster, making sure there's enough room for your head to relax onto it as well. Relax your arms out wide to the sides, and soles of the feet can either stay to the mat, or you could lengthen your legs nice and long. Or if you want another stretch into your inner thighs, then you could bring the soles of your feet to touch and just let the knees knock out wide to the sides. So whatever feels right for you here today. This should feel like a really nice opening into your chest, your heart, the front of your body. You can close down your eyes once you're there and just start to soften your breathing. Just taking a few more breaths here. And then bring soles of the feet slowly back to the mat. Roll yourself to one side off of your bolster, coming into a fetal position. And just taking a moment here. Rolling yourself onto your back, removing any props out from the way. Then just grab your bolster and slide it behind your head lengthways. You want to be at a leg's width distance from your bolster as well, so you might want to shimmy yourself around slightly. Once you're there, relax your arms out wide to the sides, lengthen both your legs towards the ceiling. Just let the blood flow the other way for a moment. So this is going to feel really good if you've been sat down all day, because your blood's going to start to circulate the other way. Option to stay here. If you want to take it into a bit of a supported halasana, then relax your arms down by your sides, draw your knees towards your chest. Using your core, you're going to lift your hips up off your mat, stretch your legs overhead and land them on your bolster. So you can use those hands to help you. Stretch the arms out the other way. Maybe you're going to interlace them. If you're there, think about lifting your sit bones towards the ceiling. So you're either in your halasana, supported with your bolster, or you've got those legs up to the ceiling. And then wherever you are, you're going to slowly roll yourself out of your halasana. Soles of the feet come back down to the mat. Take those feet nice and wide and let your knees knock in together. Relax your hands wherever feels right for you. Just allow everything to neutralize, everything to settle. Knees come back in towards the chest. Give them a nice big hug in towards you. Take a rock from side to side. Make some circles. Start to massage your spine. And then relax your arms to cactus arms. Let the knees drop towards the right hand side. Scoop the hips under, either gaze to the ceiling or over to the left hand. If it's too much with the arms in cactus arms, you can just relax them by your sides instead. Allowing your thigh bones to become heavy. Your muscles to start to relax. And then coming back to center, swapping sides. Knees drop over to the left hand side. Coming back to center nice and slowly as you lengthen your legs out long, reaching your arms above your head. Take a nice long deep stretch. Point your toes, stretch your fingers away. Big inhale, scrunch your face, tense your body. And exhale, release, relax. Spread those legs nice and wide. Spread your arms nice and wide. You're going to come into your savasana, your relaxation. So just setting yourself up so you're nice and comfortable. Maybe you've got a bolster under your knees if you've got one. Maybe you've got a blanket. Once you're there, closing down your eyes, taking a full breath in, and a big sigh out. Just taking a moment here to begin with to start to calm your breathing. So thinking about inhaling for 5 and exhaling for 8. And take a big inhale in. And as you exhale, let your breath flow down through your chest, your abdomen, your legs, all the way down to your toes, bringing you into relaxation. Relaxing your forehead, your temples, your cheeks, your upper lip, your lower lip, your jaw, your shoulders, your upper arm, your lower arm, all the way down to your fingertips. Relax your hips, your thighs, your knees, your calves, your ankles, all the way down to your toes. Allowing yourself to totally relax. Please feel free to stay in this relaxation for as long as you need, as long as you wish. Thank you for joining me today.